Heyo everybody, Haku here with the first ever video on the channel for Magical Girl Raising Project ACES. Starting off with Chapter 1, Hot Start. I'm really excited for this. I already did a video on my character design reactions I don't even know if it was a full week ago. Maybe not a full week from when I'm recording, but maybe a full week from whenever this is going to be posted on the normal Tuesday slot for Magical Girl Raising Project. So I haven't really been spoiled on any powers or like names or anything, except I do know a character is going to be like, I don't know if it's this arc or a future arc, but like Premium Sadako or Sachiko or Sachiko or something like that. And I do think that I was spoiled on one thing. Don't worry, it was none of you probably. It was nothing recent. It was months ago I think I was spoiled on one thing. And I deleted the comment because I'm pretty sure it was a spoiler, but I can't totally be certain. But I'm not going to say what it was because, of course, then for those of you that haven't read, that read along as I'm reading, I'd be spoiling you too. So I will say there is one thing that I might have been spoiled on, and I don't even know if it's in this arc or not. So yeah, I guess that's about it. For how long I'm going to read for this video, I kind of wish there was a better place to split this chapter up. I figured like 40 some pages, maybe 3 parts would be the best way to do it, but there's no page break or scene break from page 12 all the way to 21, so I might do the first 12 pages here and then do 12 to something else in the next video, or if I read the first 12 pages and it's only like 15 minutes, then I'm gonna be like, okay, I can read all the way to 21 probably. So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But I think just bear with me for the first few videos of this. The first few videos I might want to only go like 20-30 minutes just to get back into things. But then once I'm back into things, I might make the videos even longer, hell, maybe even up to an hour. So it all depends. I don't want to kill my voice too much because of course I do a million other videos during the week. So we'll just have to see, again, we'll just have to see how things go, but just expect this video, maybe next video, maybe just all the chapter 1 videos. Expect the chapter 1 videos to maybe be a little on the shorter side as I get back into reading things for this next arc. Yeah, that's it. So let's get started with the prologue then. I don't know too much of what I expect from this, so let's just read. Starting with the prologue, Momori Toriyama suspected Konoe Hitokoji. Her suspicions became stronger day by day. Momori Toriyama can't keep secrets from Konoe Hitokoji. Konoe can read people by looking at their expressions. She's able to read Momori, who she meets far more often than her real family, by reading her expressions, even before breakfast. It was impossible to keep her eyes closed. Once she realized that her secret was blown, Momori would raise her white flag. She knew by experience it was useless to resist. She knew to surrender rather than resisting the pressure, so she just gave up quickly. However, she can't raise the white flag for her secret that she's keeping now. A few days ago, Konoe Hitokoji's manor had been raided. Konoe Hitokoji, the magical girl Flea, had a high rank even among magical girls. Momori knew that as well. Thugs raided this VIP, so she had to stand firm. While she knew that it was necessary, she realized that there was an inverse to this with Flea. She was nominated to be investigated. There was someone with the intent of finding Flea's secret. Furthermore, Flea herself felt like there was something unnatural with those raiders. They didn't want to extend a power struggle and purge Flea in the process. Wicked people, especially Flea, were interesting at times like these. Flea's implementation of the man-made magical girl project was to shake the land of magic at its very core. Was this what they're aiming for? Thought Momori. Someone found out about the project, then caused a raid in order to get an investigation. Then, through the investigation team, can find out everything that was kept secret. To Flea, she had to avoid that. Flea's decision was quick. She dismissed all evidence from the investigation team, then had her memories of any dirty work removed using magic, and thus was investigated as someone completely innocent. At the same time, the Man-Made Magical Girl project, both its technology and current achievements, were published anonymously. Naturally, she left nothing in the plans that would lead back to Flea. Naturally, it caused a fuss, and now nobody could illegally monopolize the technology. In a series of concealment works, Momori, the magical girl Shadowgale, took on an important role. Momori kept the crystals of Flea's memories. Rather, she was pressed to return it all when everything had been resolved. Although Flea's plan had followed the correct route of making herself unreadable without her memories, Momori, who'd been watching Flea's memories that she kept, had decided not to return it. As a result of worrying, she committed the crystals to another magical girl, the magical girl Hunter, aka Snow White. Today she lives in a place where Flea had lost her memories, where Flea had been discomforted. This was Momori Totoyama's, Shadowgale's secret. She didn't think everything Flea did was bad. She had good intentions. There was no doubt in her heart that she wanted to change the rotten and stagnant land of magic. But Flea would do anything to achieve her objectives. In a test where there were 100 magical girls, rather than challenging the evil magical girl, she chose the more efficient route of eliminating the other magical girls. If Flea's objective was closer, she'd sacrifice far more to reach the closer path. Someone had to stop her. There was no one but Shadowgale who could stop her, thanks to having her memories. She's not only stopping her for the sake of the victims. When Momori saw Flea as she's approaching her objective, she saw her heading to extreme danger. Even if she survives the incident this time, she's going to be derailed sooner or later. She had to deposit Flea's memories with someone else. That's what Momori had to pursue. She's already thought of taking that long step, even before she decided to do it. And this is one thing I loved about the ending of Joker's with Shadowgale, is that Shadowgale wasn't just saving the people that Flea might hurt, which is a great thing. She's also saving Flea from herself, from putting herself in danger, or from going too far. Either way, Momori had no intention of returning Konoe's memories. This time, no matter how much pressure she exerted, no matter how many cunning traps awaited her, no matter how much she was going to suffer, she's resolved that she would never return those memories. Despite being a state of someone deprived of their memories, Konoe could feel something unnatural. However, she still only stayed that way. Even if she tried to look, tried to find, and tried various ways to seek out Momori's secrets, Momori would never break her mouth. The problem started now. Despite Momori closing her mouth, having Konoe discuss their current situation using guesswork and insight might not mean it'd be kept secret forever. Rather, she felt like she was inevitably approaching that moment. Not returning her memories was just palliative. In the end, she's only postponing. Since Flea became weaker without her memories, the raiders could put her in even more danger than before. No matter how much she thought she had to stop it, Momori could not think of a good plan. The one who thought of good plans was Konoe, but Konoe couldn't even be consulted with. Shadowgale didn't have many friends, nor did she have many personal connections. Even her acquaintances can be counted in one hand. Flea's confidants who were privy to her plans have probably also decreased. She wanted not to involve Clantail as much as possible in this. Thank you, Shadowgale. This is why Shadowgale's the best character. She didn't want anyone to pull the wool over her eyes, to corrupt her, to make her impure. She wanted her to become a zoologist, meaning the only person she could consult was Snow White. It's as if she was involving Snow White in this by passing on the memories to her. She wanted to apologize for what she was doing, but there was no one else she could count on. And I loved the team-up between my two favorites, Snow White and Shadowgale. All the texts she tried to send to Snow White were deleted, or rather she repeatedly deleted them until she found herself cornered. Konoe called out to her in the courtyard. Then she saw someone other than Konoe who had transformed into Flea, a magical girl that she's never seen before, sitting next to her. Okay. I interpreted that sentence totally wrong. I saw the part, saw someone other than Konoe who had transformed into Flea. I was like, why can this person other than Konoe transform into Flea? But no, they meant someone other than Konoe who had transformed into Flea, a magical girl that she's never seen before sat next to her. This is Patricia. Patricia Momori. Hello, a pleasure. My lady, what's this? I told you, she's Patricia. No, that's not what I meant. She's gonna be protecting you. Excuse me? Fled spoken. The case of the manor raid hasn't been resolved. Not even the attackers have been arrested. The entrance to the manor had been sealed off with yellow tape, and they sent security magical girls over to Hitokoji Manor. Not to mention, Momori looked like she's been doing things in secret, which made Konoe restless. Fle began speaking all she wanted to say. That's why I thought I should give you protection. I don't know if any danger will befall you after all. Patricia held out her right arm with energy. Momori felt stunned, but followed along, frowning her face due to how strongly Patricia clenched her. Okay. This is interesting. Another thing I forgot to mention, I don't remember if it was in Limited or if it was in Jokers. It might have been in Limited, but at some point they mentioned a group of magical girls called ACES before. So I don't know if that's why this arc is named ACES. Maybe that group of magical girls is going to get involved in this arc. Maybe they're the ones that raided the manor, or maybe they're going to be part of some just... because they seemed like a good guy group, I think. I don't totally remember the context it was used. I just know it was mentioned once before. But either way, and it stood out because I knew one of the arcs was named ACES, so I was like, oh, maybe this is a reference to that. But either way, let me grab some water and then we'll start officially with Chapter 1. So, now we have Chapter 1, Hot Start, and we're starting with fall, yes. Okay, fall. It's natural for a country to keep a record of how it was formed. However, how many people can claim that it was the truth that they were protecting? They'd omit unnecessary things, fix them, and probably twist them completely in the opposite direction, making them into a state where everything they do is legitimate, with no dark side at all. Regarding the formation of the Land of Magic, the following was recorded. Everything was created by... oh, we're getting some deep lore here. Everything was created by the first mage. The first mage created the 3 sages and taught them everything the mage knew, and everything the mage could do. The sages created the world based on everything they were taught and deepened their interaction with the world this way. The 3 sages, along with the worlds that they created, grew wonderfully, and the first mage was satisfied. The mage believed that there was no longer a need for the mage and committed everything to the 3 sages. Then the first mage left, never to return again. Maybe they're going to be the big... like, it's always this sort of ancient power that returns to be the, like, main bad guy in the end. So maybe the first mage is going to return to be the main bad guy in the end. The first mage left, never to return again. There weren't many people who insisted that the first mage was still alive, but since there were only the 3 sages to corroborate the story, Fall wondered if they could ever be trusted on that. So, the 3 sages, there was some special rank that they mentioned Grimheart was given in Jokers, but there was also some old man that was like super important that Snow White visited in Restart. So I don't completely remember if the old man Snow White visited, is that one of the sages, or is Grimheart possibly a sage? I don't know if Grimheart is, but Grimheart did have some kind of like special thing as a magical girl. Other than working in the interior, her specifically, there was something special about her. But either way, I'll continue on. Okay, Fall wondered if they could ever be trusted on that. Either way, the truth of it all is not so important. What is important is that the 3 sages are the Land of Magic's heroes and crown power. Not someone even a single magical girl could disobey. Fall was severely nervous. If he wasn't a cyber fairy, he'd be sweating. Snow White didn't feel nervous at all. Although her heart rate was rising somewhat, it's still tolerable. She was modestly attentive. Just looking at it from the outside, it looked large and luxurious. However, if they went inside, it looked like a strange Japanese-styled house. Slightly grubby, boarded wooden halls, sliding doors arranged side by side that had light simmering from the outside, large columns with small scratches, blue tatamis, and the smell of soft rush, maybe. There was gravel spread thin in the garden, white stepping stones laid above it. Okay. The variation of the gravel was abundant, with red, blue, yellow, and other colors decorating it. Not too shabby. There was something staggering about, something that looked much like an upside-down totem pole, a large tree that 10 people could stand around and be able to grab onto. It's as if Yggdrasil, the world tree itself, had been planted in the garden. They couldn't see such a huge tree from outside. Something this huge should have been visible from at least 5 kilometers, at least under normal circumstances. This place was completely abnormal. He knew that much. The person living in here had called them over. Since it was one of the 3 sages, there was no way for Snow White to refuse. Come in, the lord of the house called out, who sat on her knees beside a table. On the desk were a variety of colas and potato chips, confectionaries that were spread about. The other day, Snow White was able to pull out the magical girl known as Grim Heart. Okay. Pull out. There was no way to hurt her directly. No magic could hurt her directly either. She was the one opponent that they wanted to hurt directly very much. Still, even though she wasn't hurt directly, she wasn't looking quite good now. As Snow White outran her, Grim Heart was arrested. Oh yeah! Apparently she was arrested and died during escort. I'm pretty sure they mentioned that in the epilogue, but basically nobody believed it. They're like, there's no way she just died in a police escort. She was arrested and died in an accident during her escort, though they didn't really know if that was the truth. Fall could only browse official Land of Magic documents. Grimheart was one of... Okay, yeah, this is it. Grimheart was one of the 3 sages. Chainosk Valmer's incarnations. Okay, so this is a thing where each of the 3 sages is incarnated into future magical girls. Okay, so Grimheart was one of the incarnations. So maybe, possibly Grimheart was killed. Maybe there's some sort of betrayal going on, and with Grimheart being killed, maybe that means that the sage Chainosk Valmer will be reincarnated. Now one of the other sages, Lavki is so much easier to say though, Lavki Pukvalta's incarnation, Puck, had, I love her name, Puck, had called out to her, having an incarnation call you is as good as having the 3 sages themselves seek you out. Okay, so apparently the 3 sages, as good as having the 3 sages themselves. So maybe the 3 sages are alive, but they also have an incarnation who is like a physical servant for them that they work through. So maybe Chainosk Valmer is alive, but also Grimheart is just like this separate body that contains part of their spirit or something. Or maybe this is just a weird way of wording it, and it does mean that they're reincarnated through generations. But either way, we have Puck here. We're getting some real deep lore this chapter already. Having an incarnation call out to you is as good as having the 3 sages themselves seek you out. Snow White didn't try to take the cola or potato chips, simply staring at the girl across the table from her. As a magical girl, she looked young. Lower grade elementary, kindergartner, younger? Her feet were folded as she sat on a thick cushion. Her white toga outfit and golden hair gave her a feeling of something divine. Her facial expressions were innocent, inviting a kind of peacefulness toward her. Yet Snow White's expressions remained rigid. There were magical girls that didn't really show affection in their smiles, sure, but considering her position, can't Snow White be sociable just for once today? Not gonna eat? You called me for something. To the point. She broke the ice instantly on whether or not they'd end on good terms or not. Snow White also seemed to have a representation of not wanting to talk about things outside the original topic. Despite this, Puck continued to smile at her. If you tell me your favorite candies, I'll prepare 'em for you. Why did you call me here? A high-pitched sound rang in the garden. Well, I want to get to know you better, Snow. Why did you call me here today? A magical girl moved behind the sliding door. Fall couldn't see her. Fall could detect her with his radar. Snow White, the magical girl in front of him, Puck, and the magical girl behind the door, probably Puck's subordinate. She's probably there to get rid of problems that her master might have. Okay. Then the magical girl moved. Fall's tension heightened. Should he tell Snow White to talk more politely, Or would it be ruder to interrupt their talk with a warning? The thought only appeared for a moment before disappearing. Puck just wanted to be friends with you, Snow. She placed her upper body on the table. She looked at Snow directly in the eye. Snow White's heart rate rose. So yeah? Why am I here? Snow White hadn't changed on the outside. However, Snow White's heart rate had continued to rise. So like Puck said, what do you want me to do? Puck tapped her head with her finger. As she said those words, it seemed like she was distressed from the bottom of her heart. Using Snow White's power of hearing people in distress, she should be able to see through her lies. I thought we could work together to each other's benefit. You're the one who beat Grimheart, right? This again. You've been marked by the Osk faction. Not just marked, but they're probably gonna do even worse things to you. But if you'd like to be friends with Puck, Puck will provide you protection from them. She's trying to recruit her into her faction by offering a shield. And see, this is what I was going to cut in a second ago and say. It seems like Puck is just trying to be friendly with her in order to win her over because of how sort of dangerous or powerful Snow White is. So, this makes sense. And I didn't even think, of course, that Snow White would be able to hear the voices in their hearts. But I would assume that Puck knows about that. I'd assume that people in the Land of Magic, because they have records on their powers, I would assume that most higher-ups would know about Snow White's power. Especially since she has such a reputation as well. She's trying to recruit her, I read that. Would it be fine to believe her despite this? There was a lot of motivations to hire talented magical girls into your faction. Not to mention, Puck's words were somehow trustable. Oh, I can help you find your friend, too. Snow White was looking for a missing magical girl, Ripple, but that was a personal affair. Did she investigate Snow White that much? Fall clicked his non-existent tongue. Snow White's heart rate further increased, since Puck had touched a soft spot with Ripple. Pardon me. The sliding door opened. There was a magical girl there. Her hair was a gradient of pink and black with long length tied up in twos. Both then seemingly touched the floor. Her pupils were purple on the right and blue on the left. She had a rabbit-looking badge. Okay, so this is the one Harajuku-looking girl. She had a rabbit-looking badge and a stuffed doll feet? Oh, and stuffed doll feet seemingly popped out of her hair. Her face and expression seemed calm, but she was panting. I'll introduce you. Snow, this is Sarami Nakano, one of Puck's friends. She saw the contents of an encrypted disc stolen from the Osk faction. There's a lot of secrets being spilled. Sarami's always trying to be friendly with Puck, you see. Even the day before at dinner. Snow White voiced out an excuse me, and Puck looked at Snow White if she was some rare object. What's up? She seemed to be in a hurry. Puck turned her eyes to Sarami Nakano and lightly nodded. Snow White had guessed, she began talking. Well, I guess you could say that. What's wrong? It's Sachiko, you see. Premium Sachiko's ran away. Ran away? She doesn't think she could do an important ritual. She thinks it's better if she disappeared than to fail it entirely. Then she wrote a note saying that and left. In short, this kind of thing always happens. Puck laid her palms on her forehead and looked up at the ceiling. This was the first time Snow White and Fall saw her as someone who's wise beyond their years. To do it at a time like this. Saying words along with her gesture made her seem old. Puck sighed out loud as she turned to Snow White. This is a bit, embarrassing, honestly, but that's why I just a little bit. Okay? Sorry if it's a bother to you, but could I ask you to do a favor? That'd be okay, right? Yeah? I'm listening. Protect Puck's friends. Despite the occasional detours, Puck continued to explain her circumstances. Puck had several subordinates who were magical girls. One of them was Premium Sachiko, whose magic was going to be used for a ritual, but there were forces opposing the ritual. That girl's being targeted by the Osk faction. Snow White's eyebrows wrinkled. The Osk faction. Faction being led by Chen Osk Valmer. The faction who only sought to use humans and magical girls as nothing more than experiments and tools. That much she was aware of at the underground laboratory. Okay, so we're getting more explanation on this, and I think it's interesting. We were just learning a little bit about... We didn't get to know much about the rebellion, but we know that Top Pop was involved with a rebellion group. So there is a rebellion group. We know that there is infighting between, say, the Foreign Affairs Division, the Examination Division, and all this. And this is interesting that we're going up even higher than those divisions to the three sages and their direct subordinates. And I don't think... We're probably not going to see them control any of those divisions directly. It almost seems like they're so far above that it's like the Foreign Affairs Division is its own thing. It's not in control. It's not being controlled by any of those three factions directly, at least, because those three factions are like all doing their own thing above the divisions. But either way, we have the Osk faction, we have Puck Pucks, and there's still a third we don't know about, and maybe even we could learn what was going on with what was going on with the group that Top Pop was a part of at some point. Girls being targeted by the Osk faction. I read the next paragraph. The Puck faction, Puck faction, so cute. The Puck faction was doing a ritual centered on Sachiko. When the three sages discussed whether the ritual should be done or not, the only one opposing it was the Osk faction. Perhaps they chose to disturb it due to Puck openly ignoring their opposition. In short, without Sachiko, the ritual couldn't be done. If Sachiko were dead, there would be no way either. So is this going to be something where we find out that the Puck faction is bad too and the ritual is actually evil? If Sachiko were dead, there'd be no way either. What kind of ritual is it? Well, I kinda don't want to tell anyone but her, but you ask so nicely, how could I refuse? You're looking for my child, so I might as well tell you. It seemed like she was cutting off all means of escape, but she didn't blame Snow White at all. Puck Puck continued on while sounding like she's still bragging. The Land of Magic's in a bit of a pinch right now. They're using up more power than they're gaining, so it's reducing the power that they originally had. You need a stronger source of power to use stronger magic. I guess it's natural when you're trying to improve technology and stuff, but this time it's unstoppable. It's going to be big trouble when they eventually run out of energy. But there's something good in all that too. Long ago there was an amazing person. You've heard the stories, right? The first mage? The first mage made this magical device. When you activate it, it gives loads of magical energy. I'm doing the ritual to make it work, and to make it work I'm going to need my daughter. Premium Sachiko. So maybe this is going to be a sacrifice situation and Sachiko's running away because she has to be the sacrifice and Snow White's going to be doing the bad thing of forcing her to come back. Snow White reacted not one bit while hearing the story. Her heart rate had stopped increasing. It sounded like a good rumor, but if it was a lie, Snow White would have pointed it out and silently left her seat. Perhaps due to being three sages, something so dreamlike could actually be something real. Right now, I'm preparing a barrier to keep Sachiko safe, but Sachiko ran away before I could finish. Sorry, Snow. Could you bring her back for me? Also, if someone's targeting her, could you protect her for me? Understood. A prompt decision. Fall was surprised. What should he say? Or what should he not say? Puck Puck repeatedly said thank you as she shook Snow White's hand up and down. Together with the magical girl Sarami, they moved across the corridors. Snow White's vital signs slightly lowered. There was only Snow White and Fall in the room now. Fall spoke to her without a stereoscopic image. What's wrong, Pone? You agreed way too easily, Pone. It's fine. Snow White placed her hand on her chest. She murmured in a small voice. Fine. I heard the voice in her heart. I thought I couldn't hear the voices of the three sages, like the time I met Grim Heart. Snow White, who seemed calmer now, had her heart rate rise once again. She's worried about the Land of Magic's current state. She seriously wants to save her to do that ritual. She was worried about Sachiko even without the ritual. The other magical girls think the same too, like that Sarami girl. So either Puck Puck's a very good liar, or they are actually good. Her voice toned down. She added the person beyond the sliding door too. So, she's someone we can work with, Pone? Yes, I think. Fall guessed that, okay, what? Even with the other magical girls like that Sarami girl. Okay, so I thought the person behind the door was Sarami, but the person behind the door is a third person that was there. Okay. Fall guessed she was serious about the ripple thing too. It was something she was able to offer that Fall wasn't. Okay, so I like this too because it really brings up a question of, can we trust them or not? But I think I skipped the lines. Is she someone we can work with? Yes, I think. Fall guessed she was serious about the ripple thing too. It was something she was able to offer Fall wasn't able to. Furthermore, there shouldn't need to be any encouragement to gain one of the three sages as an ally. Snow White had no long-term prospects rather than to keep throwing herself at rogues, a lifestyle that seemed to lead to death. Since she doesn't align herself with anyone and is a lone wolf, even when she cooperates with people, she'll always be the magical girl hunter to people. If she could have Puck Puck as her patron, before Fall could finish that thought, footsteps came back from the corridor. Okay, my voice is starting to go a little bit. It's been a little over 30 minutes. I'm going to end the video now. Like I said, these first few might be shorter, but I might go a little bit longer after these first few. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. I think 30 minutes is a good, respectable amount of time for a video anyway. So, yeah, like I said, these are going to be weekly anyway. So, I mean, even if it's 30 minutes, you're going to get another 30 minutes next week. But yeah, that's it. I really enjoyed the start of this. I love the concept we're getting with all this deep lore. I just kind of hope we maybe go back into and explain some things a little more, like with the factions and with the three sages. I don't think we need that immediately. I think we can just get into the action of what the specific arc is going to be, but I'd like to just touch back and increase the lore a little bit here and there throughout the story. I think the story's done a great job of that so far throughout all the other arcs, so I'm not too worried about it doing well this arc. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of this week's chapter and what you thought of my thoughts on it. So far, I actually really do like Puck Puck, even though I don't know how trustworthy she is. And there was something else I was gonna say, but I think I'm forgetting here. Oh well. I'm interested to see how Shadowgale and her what was it, Patricia or something? I'm interested in how those two are gonna play into things. But I suppose that's it. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there on stuff for the channel or talk to you there. Subscribe for more Magical Girl Raising Project, much more on the channel. And if you want a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us there, just ask and I can give you a link. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.